All right, you guys, welcome to week 4 of Tuesdays in the Attic, which is also, is it also Christmas in January today? Sure is. This is also Christmas in January. I'm going to kind of show you a trick today, and it might seem weird at first, but it's going to kind of work. So I used to mainly do 12 by 12 albums. And I think that's my preferred size. I am really liking the storyline chapters size. That's also another that I really enjoy. And I also like my Life Crafted, which is like kind of pocket page with traveler's notebook. But 12 by 12 will always be my first love, always my love. So what I have for you, first we're going to play with, so it's Christmas in January today, and it's week 4 of Tuesdays in the Attic. So I have some Illustrated Faith Advent collection, and I'll be pulling some stuff in from my stash as well, but that's what we're going to mainly focus on. What I'm going to show you is, as you can see, I have 3 very tiny photos, right? And the sketch is not for tiny photos. It's for small photos, but not tiny photos. So what I'm going to show you is how I can make these actually look, we're going to make it look okay on a 12 by 12. It's definitely going to stand out compared to the other pages in the album. And it's one of those things, I already have his album figured out, this album like organized and figured out what I need. And like another size is just not conducive to what I have going on there. And this would make more sense if you knew like my process. So if you ever want to check out what my process is for setting up my albums, I will have that on my membership soon. But, so I have these 3 tiny photos of my son's Christmas program. This year, this was in 2017. I remember that my phone had died, or I forgot it, or something. And then later, when you're trying to find photos of your son's Christmas program, you're realizing you have none. So after searching seriously for weeks, discussing with in-laws, whoever was there, I finally figured out that my sister grabbed a couple photos for me, but we all had older iPhones that were not that great at the time, and so they were very grainy, very, like, we could never find the original. I couldn't find the original photos at all, so I ended up getting, I found copies of ones that she sent to me, so it was like via text. So you know how sometimes, especially not now as much, but back in the day, like even just a few years ago when you shared it, your picture was just, the quality was not as good when it came through a text. So I got a couple from there, and I believe this one is a screenshot from the video. We have a video. We recorded his program and chunks of it, which was great. So I have that, but just still photos, I just don't have a lot of. So I have these 3 tiny photos. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink the sketch down and make it a small layout, and then frame it bigger and bigger and bigger to make it feel like it's supposed to be on the 12 by 12. And we'll add other things, add in the embellishments so it doesn't feel so off. But that's how we're going to make these 3 tiny photos work on a 12 by 12 space. Like I said, ideally I would slide in like a pocket page or a smaller scale page or something, but the way I have the album already planned out, I wouldn't have something to then go on the other side, if that makes sense. So I gotta work with 12 by 12. So let me go find some other papers in my stash to help us with that, and then let's get started.
I apologize for that super lengthy intro to just basically say, I have tiny photos. We're going to make them work on a 12 by 12 layout. You know, I just thought I had to explain myself for some reason. I have no idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm cutting down some white paper, and this is actually just that, the liner for pocket pages, or for your album pages paper, so it's super, super thin. So I'm fine with chopping it up. I have a couple of those that I'm going to use, and I'm going to just shrink down the sketch. So the sketch calls for 3 by 3 photos. Mine are like almost exactly half. They're like 1.5 by 1 3/4 or something like that. So I'm literally just cut a 6 by 6 paper then. I'm like, well, if my photos are basically half the size, I'm just going to shrink my layout to half the size. So I'm going to do a miniature version of it, 6 by 6 on this white paper. And then I have pulled out these other 2 papers that are my stash. One is an American Craft, just like a loose paper from, I think, Joann's, and another one is the same type of thing, but I don't know what brand it is, but it was just probably at Michael's or something, and it was just open stock paper that I got a long time ago. But I grabbed them both because they both have kind of, well, the one has like reds and pinks and greens. And then this other one is a green, and it all kind of matches the green that's in the greens, I should say, that are in this Illustrated Faith collection, Advent. So I am trimming down. I trimmed two 6x8 papers into banner size, and I'm matting my photos on this blue. And I grabbed one of it's mostly for Bible journaling, I think, but they're almost like bookmark style. It's like a little pad of bookmarks, and there's a lot of journaling things, but it's like long, skinny. I'm going to trim one down that has really nice journaling lines on it and a couple holly berries, and I'm going to use that one and layer it up. But I'm just going to start layering things on just like the sketch. Ends up being a little bit more simple compared to the sketch, but I still try to bring in those elements. So I only have 3 photos. So I got my 2 banners down, and then I'm going to put, like I said, that journaling spot over top of that one banner. I'm going to put my photos down, and then I'm going to look for a title. I figured it could take place of that 4th photo and then go into and overlap more on the banners. Just to kind of follow the sketch a little bit more. I end up finding an ephemera piece that is a cute little square that says Merry Christmas. So it literally just takes place of a photo. And then I'm able to just to have my journaling spot. What's nice too is it's circular, and so it kind of brings in that circular element that is in the sketch where the title is as well. I had this little tab I just wanted to add because our page is going to extend off this 6x6, so I wasn't too worried. While I'm looking at it doing this voiceover, I could have added more things, and I actually thought about doing a banner on the outside of the white as well. But I ended up not doing it because I ended up liking how clean and simple it looked. And so I ended up adding actually not much outside of this little white 6x6 area. So I added that banner that says Amen, and then I've got a couple of ephemera, light blue pieces. What are they? Evergreen leaves. Oh yeah, and those look a lot like the like twigs that are on that American Crafts paper too. That's another reason I wanted to grab those. And then one chipboard hollyberry, and then a couple of these clear stickers I just kind of made some clusters. I'm going to go ahead and take some of my brush markers, and I have a light green one. I'm going to just trace around the white, and then I'm going to mat that with a thick border around of the green paper that I have, and then I will mat that on white, and then I will put that on the American Crafts poinsettia paper. And that's pretty much it. I decide too then at the end to outline the outside of the green paper with a red, and then the next white layer with a darker green pen. And I really like it. It turned out super cute, but it was a super simple way to take these tiny, tiny photos, just shrink down the sketch, and then just super matte the sketch basically onto a 12x12. And a lot of times I see people do this too when they really like an 8.5x11 sketch and they like the proportions and they just don't want to stretch them to 12x12. So they literally just create an 8.5x11 page and then you mat it on 12x12. So that's super fun too. So there you go. And then I'm just going to outline those other parts. I'm actually going to get my T-square out to do that. I'm going to outline those the white and then the green. And that's it. Super, super simple. I do my journaling. I don't know if I did that already. I don't think so. But that is it. So make sure you check out everybody else who's playing with Christmas in January down below. And this has been another fantastic Tuesdays in the Attic. Dusty Attic Sketches. Make sure you check out their Instagram. I will have linked down below as well. And check out their shop. They do, I think right now they have free shipping on $150 Australian money if you spend. And they have some awesome stuff in their shop. So I will have their store link down below too. But thank you so much, you guys, for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye.